All right. We're here. It's your boys, Frankie Bergasetti and Tony Wazinski. This is the nephew, Ronnie. And today we're drinking some great tasting, less filling Miller Lights and watching some Bears football. What about you, Frankie?
Frankie's not here either. It's nice to see you, Ronnie. I appreciate you filling in here for Tony. And how you been?
I've been good, just throwing back a couple great tasting, less filling Miller Lights with my brothers in my garage. In case you didn't know this, I have brothers. I know that's a little weird. Nobody else on the planet has brothers, especially people on the south side of Chicago, the city of big shoulders.
All right. That's good for you. I'm glad you have brothers. I'm glad you like garages. I hope you like to enjoy Miller Lite with your brothers and in your garage, okay? So Miller Lite, it's always there for you. Whether any liquor store you go to, you know you can have that pretty quickly to hang out with your friends and in your garage. So next time you're getting ready to enjoy cold ones with your friends, go to MillerLite.com/redline to find the delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Ronnie, thank you for filling in today.
You're welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Chicago sports fans. This is Dave.
This is Chief.
This is Eddie.
And this is Redline Radio in all gas, no brakes, Chicago sports podcast brought to you by Miller Lite and Barstool Sports Chicago. Fellas, Carl is at the Ryder Cup today. Go United States. Go Tiger Woods. Fuck the Europeans and their Brexit and all that shit. What is on the agenda today?
Couple big things, okay? Couple big things. And the first big thing was in the Tuesday episode, I teased a lot about our promos for gambling that's coming up this weekend. There's two big ones, okay? But the super
Can I tease the tease?
Super big. Yeah, you could tease the tease.
I have never been more excited. This is like, if you don't do this, you're a moron.
This is monster, okay? Monster.
We can't legally say that. I don't think you should legally and responsibly be betting this.
It's 100% responsibly.
So listen, here's what you got to do. Between now and Sunday, you have to go to Hollywood Aurora Casino. Mm-hmm. You know where it is. I'm sure you've all been there at some point or another.
Easy train right away.
Yes, you got to go there, okay? You got to go to Hollywood Aurora. You could go today. You can go Friday. It doesn't matter. You just got to go. You could go Sunday. Sunday we'll all be there, all the Chicago guys, Dave, Big Cat, everyone. You got to go to Hollywood Aurora. You got to jump on their Wi-Fi, and you will see a bet that says 1985, Dave's 1985 bet, okay? 1985 significance, boys.
Bears,
Chicago
Super Bowl.
Bears, Super Bowl, beat the shit out of the Patriots. 1985, okay? You got to enter code Dave. Once you enter code Dave, you could place a $100 maximum bet on the Bears to cover the spread on Sunday against the Browns.
7.5.
If they cover the spread, you get plus 1985.
That's absurd.
Plus 1985.
Absurd. That's the best promo we've ever had.
Oh, by far and away.
Yeah.
That's a massive number.
So if you have never, ever signed up for the Barstool Sportsbook, now is the time to do so. You have today, you have Friday, you have Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. You have so many days here now to take a quick trip to Aurora. I don't see how a little drive is going to stand in your way for making some money because that's the opportunity here if the bet hits.
Plus 1985. Yeah. It's absurd. And
you can place 52. It's not like $100 blocked in, but $100 is the max.
Yeah. I just can't even believe that we're offering that, especially because I do think the Bears are going to win. Or are going to cover the 7.5. I think they're going to be right there.
That hook is very tempting.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, can you go to Joliet as well?
Aurora is where we'll be. Aurora was where the bet was taking place. I think you got to be on that Wi-Fi, so go to Aurora, okay? Aurora.
And when Ed says Dave's going to be there, of course, me, the important Dave's going to be there. He meant Dave Portnoy and Big Cat.
They will be there.
They will be there.
You have the chance of meeting them, and but it doesn't have to be only Sunday. You could do it tonight, Thursday. You could do it Friday. You could do it Saturday. You have 4 days to get this thing in, okay? So go do that. It's an awesome promotion, as well as if you want to bet the cat's out of the bag on the uniform, the hoodie I was talking about. It's a Carhartt hoodie with the Chicago flag badge.
That's sick.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
That's for the Notre Dame Wisconsin game.
Yep.
$100, whichever one you want to bet on. If they hit, you get the hoodie. So, two awesome promos. Aurora, Hollywood Aurora. Go there and get this bet in. Sign up if you have never used the app or sign up for the app before.
Can't wait.
I'm super fucking pumped.
Yes, should be good. So Carl's out. Danny is in his chair because we got a bit of a discrepancy with our milk challenge.
I don't think
Tuesday.
we do.
Are you delegating milk commissioner status to Danny here?
He has experience. I
Okay.
think that's what you look for. If you're interviewing people, you look for experience. Danny has it.
Yesterday was nothing short of abomination. First of all, we did a half gallon. Can't do that. Second of all, we went 1%. And if I remember correctly, Dave even asked for skim milk. We can't be doing that.
I mean, I don't know the rules or anything. The question was, could I drink a half gallon of milk
In 5 minutes.
in 5 minutes or less?
That's what the half gallon. It was unsanctioned, Dan. Does that make sense? This is like
I think
It was a
a half gallon in 15 minutes, like a baby could do that.
5.
Oh, I thought you had a 15-minute timer.
well, he had to
Yeah,
hold
no,
it down for
he
15
had to
minutes.
not-
He did
Gotcha.
it. He drank it in 5.
Gotcha. My apologies. Regardless, the rules and regulations are as said. You have to finish a full gallon of 2% milk in 1 hour, and you have to have that milk down in your system 1 minute after the hour. So 61 minutes, the milk needs to be in your system. So even if you finish, say, like by 20 minutes, you still have to have that milk down by minute 61.
You got to sweat it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, and that's what happened. You know the champ, Dan.
Yes.
You know the champ I referred to last episode. And when he listened, he was instantly very upset.
The text message was,
I want
no
to make
joke.
it clear that I had nothing to do with this.
I know. It's not your fault.
This is your
It's
fuck
not
up.
your
This
fault.
is number 2 fuck up for you. And I finished that. Did I finish that so easy?
Yeah, you did.
You did it like
yeah.
casually.
Casually.
You did.
Yeah.
You
Was
you
I sweating? Was I
No,
fucking... I didn't feel great.
No.
But did I even come close? Do you think I could have done a full gallon? And I'm not going to do it.
I don't
Ooh.
think you could have done a full gallon.
In an hour?
No.
Do you think if
I had 55 minutes to get another half gallon down.
Yeah.
That's
But
another-
something happens when you get to that
Right.
last
It's
quarter.
the tipping point. You,
Yeah.
you see it happen all the time.
all the time.
After once the last, you're fine until the last glass. Then you start getting the shivers, the shakes. You can't contain yourself.
Now, Dan, you're the milk expert.
Correct.
How much of a difference is it if you go from 1 to 2%?
A huge difference. We don't even allow that. We don't even allow chocolate milk because
Chocolate milk seems like
The
the
chocolate
sickest
milk
of
is
all.
harder.
it's- you would think, but it's you guys alluded to this, the psychological aspect of it, like it being chocolate, taking down with sweets like that. We just don't allow it. There's very strict rules, and they're in place for a reason.
See?
Well, not my fuck up.
Well,
It was Ed's fuck up. Second time he's fucked up, and I've dominated a challenge show
That
easily.
wasn't my. I mean,
Yeah.
It was.
Red Ad Line Radio.
I mean, we sent him out. We asked for 1%. You just didn't know the rules of the competition. And you're the one who brought the competition to his doorstep.
I somehow it missed me, but also like it's so Dave to ask for skim, you know.
Right.
Like, it is.
I know. He knew
That's
what he was
what I
doing.
drink. No, I don't know what I'm doing. That's the whole point of this. Is that that's what I drink.
These
1%
guys are
of
saying
skim.
you're trying to cut corners.
I wasn't trying to fucking.
No, it's not Dave's fault. I will contend that it's not Dave's fault, but that doesn't mean the contest that he did was a little fraudulent, right?
Correct. You tried taking the easy way out, and it bit you in the ass, Dave.
Yeah, it's
I didn't try to take it any way out.
it's like I gave you bad directions. You
If I
went the
wanted to
opposite
take
way.
the easy way out, I just wouldn't have done it. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny.
It was kind of funny, though.
It
You
was-
felt good about
it was
yourself after
moderately
you did
funny. Not really. I felt like asshole. I felt like asshole after you said the caloric intake that I had.
it. 880.
Yes.
I'd be interested to... Let's see how many calories are in a half gallon of 2% milk.
Did you puke at all yesterday?
No. I pissed for like 20, like every hour.
What do you think was not funny about it?
I don't know. I just didn't think it was all that funny. I mean, I think that there's been much funnier things that have gone on in this office. And
To be fair, it was more of a measure of strength, not for comedic
Yeah, I don't
purposes.
think. Yeah, I don't
right?
think it was.
okay.
It would be 1,200 calories, so an additional 400 calories for 2%. So that is a significant difference, like Danny was saying. Makes it much harder.
A little thicker.
Thicker, heavier.
Anything else, Dan?
No, I ought to be getting back to work unless you want me to talk Cubs. I am the sports guy of the office.
What do you have for Cubs?
Nothing. I got to get going.
There he goes. He just proved your theory that he's not a sports guy.
That's false. I whipped them both in bags. You were there. And
No, you
darts.
didn't.
Yes,
no,
I
you
did.
didn't. I've never played you in darts.
Thank you for having me.
And bags isn't like a real sport.
Thank you, Danny. What do you mean? I had to use that for the sportsbook promo. I'm sorry that I wrote on your hook sheet. Oh, is that Dave's dipper that just got kicked over?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's disgusting.
He yells at me for bare feet, and then he just leaves his dip spit all over the place.
Well, if Danny had any athleticism at all, he would have seen that there was a cup sitting there, and he would have juked it out.
All right. Well,
High step it.
that's the update on the milk controversy. Maybe not controversy. Dave doesn't see the controversy. But the bigger news is that Justin Fields was announced the starter for Sunday.
Kind of. It was like the most naggy thing ever, where it's like once, like the very next, he's like, Justin Fields is our starter for Sunday, and then the very next thing out of his mouth was, as soon as Andy Dalton's healthy, he'll be the starter. So it's like, why even
back yourself into the corner like that?
Why, like, because what if Justin Fields goes out and throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and runs for, another touchdown, and he's like incredible, like, and then Dalton's healthy the next week and you're gonna play him against the Lions? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Now, on the flip side, I have heard conversation that it could be the opposite. What if he goes out and throws 4 picks?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, Dalton's a starter, and you're not benching Fields, but you're not.
I suppose
That's what the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's my argument, but
Yeah.
that's the opposite side of that argument. That people are saying is that if Fields falls on his face, they still have that thing where it's like, oh, Dalton's still the starter. Like, it's not Justin's fault.
Yeah.
You can't blame him yet.
Right, he's so young, whatever. But you know what he could do in this situation? Is just not say anything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything. Like, that's the whole thing where with Nagy. I feel like he should hire that, who's the press secretary for Biden? Jen Psaki. Where she's just a pro at, like, taking arrows and hard questions and just, like, deflecting them, and she never answers anything. He needs one of those up at all of his press conferences where if someone's asking him a pointed question about who the quarterback is, hey, refer it to, whoever, and then just don't say anything, because every time you open your mouth, you say something that boxes you in or sounds stupid, and then now it's like you have more questions and more controversy. So just don't say anything and let it just play out. Just be like, hey, we're going to let it play out.
Yeah, like, it's not that hard to be like, hey, Justin's a starter because Andy can't go.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how he plays.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens when Dalton gets healthy.
Big opportunity for him. He's got the whole playbook at his disposal, this and that. You could say whatever you want and then just leave it alone. I've said my piece. And then just deflect it away. But he doesn't do that. What would Belichick do? He'd grunt at him.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know what? I love that comparison because that is exactly what Belichick would do. And obviously, Belichick's the fucking GOAT.
Yep.
And
we're going to evaluate Justin.
I don't understand why it's so easy for all of us to just be like, don't say shit, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And he still says shit.
Yeah, and that was like we had that guy in town too. It was Joel Quenneville. He was the same way. It was like he just didn't say.
Like a curmudgeon.
Yeah, he'd just be like, oh, we'll see. He was okay. He was fine. And we talked about that on the podcast where he would say fine, okay. He was just okay. Like, he had like this way of speaking where he never really threw anybody under the bus. He never really boxed himself in. He just would meet his obligations. Like, he was checking a box. Like, my contract says I have to go out and talk to fucking Mark Lazarus right now. I'm just going to give him shit and then walk back and do my job.
Love that.
Yeah.
Why can't Nagy do that? Why can't he do that?
Struggles with that.
I don't know. Certainly makes Sunday more interesting, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It gives talking points at least.
Yeah, for that 1985 bet.
I mean, that I can't. All right, so are you and I not eligible for that bet?
No, because we already signed up.
That's trouble.
Because
I honest to God, I am on the Bears.
Well, if you like the Bears 7.5, you like them.
I do like them. I do like them a lot. So,
but that's the latest update.
Do you like them this week?
I'm optimistic.
At that price, fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah. I mean, I love the number. Yeah. How can you not love the number?
You have to. Yeah.
I love the number, so I'm optimistic.
You saying the word optimistic just gave me a little shiver. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I mean, I don't think the Bears, we're a couple, fucking absolutely horrendously played deep balls by the Rams away from being like, all right, we are just the same old Bears. Our defense is pretty good, and our offense
leaves a lot to be desired.
Exactly, So we've seen we can win games with that method.
Yeah.
We can't win playoff games and Super Bowls, but we can win regular season games.
I guess I just think the offense is better. Like, I know I am like the glass half full kind of guy.
You can't say it's better.
than it was last year? Sure, you can.
I mean, Chief, we're 2 games in.
Sure, but the running game looks better. The line looks way better than we thought it would.
Yeah.
Dalton. He's the best quarterback.
He's a competent professional quarterback. Fields has got some, some.
I guess not to last year. Last year was a disaster. I take that back. I'm saying like a traditional Bears year.
Sure. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Fair.
Yeah,
my apologies.
Yeah, I was talking specifically over last year, where it's just like they can't do it. That 6-game losing streak, they couldn't do anything. The playoff game against the Saints was just like,
that
what
Titans
the
game?
fuck?
Holy fuck!
I was there.
Yeah,
it was the
so
most
bad.
miserable football game I've ever been to, and that was like
Yeah.
at the peak of COVID too. So like you would take your mask down and take 1 sip of beer, and then if you put your beer down, if you didn't have your mask immediately up in 1 second, like someone was tapping you on the shoulder, like some security guard.
I was deep in the middle of that.
Yeah, and then like so you're constantly doing this thing, and you just felt like you didn't miss anything because the Bears just didn't do anything. It was 3 and outs forever. So I think I like the Bears' offense. Peters has looked okay. Interior line has looked okay. I thought James Daniels kind of sucked. I feel like we didn't talk about that enough, but starting to pump the Alex Bars. The Alex Bars.
Wonder why?
Yeah, I wonder. But like, I mean, James Daniels was bad in that.
Right, Dave.
Can we talk about who was good?
Sure.
Jason Peters.
Yeah.
I'm
man,
watching. I'm
dude.
reading this Brandon Thorne. He's the biggest human being I've ever seen.
He's such a man.
But 39 years old, and he is just fucking flattening offense or defensive linemen right here.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Thorne's got a thread about him. Olin Kreutz retweeted it and everything. And I know that Olin Kreutz loves nothing more than good offensive line play.
Yeah.
And I'm watching these. He's just manhandling people.
Well,
where did this come from?
The other funny thing about that whole game is that he dislocated his finger like in the beginning. So he had like half a hand. It just didn't matter. He doesn't, so now he's just going to tape it up and have it like ready to go for Sunday. But he's just so fucking big. How can somebody that big still move that well?
And that age.
He's like a fucking ballet dancer, man.
It's crazy.
I don't get it. It should not be physically possible to move like he does, and he does.
I mean, we all kind of rolled our eyes when they announced that sign.
Yeah, it was like, come on, man.
Well, it was like a desperation sign.
Right,
It was nothing against Jason Peters. It was like, hey, we're here, and we need a left tackle.
And he looks fucking.
But he looks like he
young
can
and
start for anyone. And he's another guy where like his listed height. What would you guess?
6'6".
Ed, do you have a guess on that?
This makes me think he's probably shorter since you're saying this.
Yeah.
Or maybe taller. I don't know.
Could be either one.
6'4".
He is 6'4".
Okay.
That's it. That's what I mean. Like he looks to me like when you see him, he looks like just a mountain of a man. He looks like he should be 6'8".
Yeah.
But he's.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. He's a big boy.
And that means he's probably only like 6'3".
Probably, perhaps, yeah. They list him at 6'4", 328. So.
6'4" in cleats, Dave. 6'4" in cleats.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You got to give the cleats height.
Were you impressed with Conor McGregor's first pitch?
I thought it was fucking stupid and contrived, and
I don't know why you think that.
Yeah, so to be clear out there, if you're listening, Dave thinks it was fake.
He thinks he was trying to go viral, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way anybody on the planet can miss a target throwing something by that much, especially an athlete. I know he's from Ireland, probably doesn't throw anything.
Right, that's
Do they
my
have
point.
Throwing sports over there? But
not
still,
really.
All right, I've never played a single second of organized soccer. I think I could kick it in the general direction of a goal. You know what I mean?
Bro, I think you
with 40,000 people watching?
Yeah. Kick it in the general direction? Yes. He needed to throw it in the general direction.
Dude, there's been some,
he threw it sideways.
But he also tried to throw it as hard as he could.
There's been some bad first pitches.
50 Cent was like...
Yeah, 50 Cent, Baba Booey's.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she's a woman.
Carly Rae Jepsen. Oh, my God, dude.
It was a joke. Come on, it was a joke. It was a joke.
All right. It was a joke, everybody.
It was a joke.
On the record, officially a joke.
Carly Rae Jepsen's was bad.
I don't think I remember that.
Who is the sprinter? Was it Carl Lewis? He had a bad one, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's right.
There's been a ton of bad ones.
Obama had a pretty bad
one.
Did
he?
Yeah.
So I don't see how you could say this is not in that category.
I think he was hyped up and tried to.
Ever seen.
I think he tried to pump it in there.
He's also wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It just stunk to me. He does a lot of things. Like the whole thing with Machine Gun Kelly that came off is contrived to me. Like he was getting ready to promote something coming up. I don't know.
Probably his
He's
whiskey.
a master of staying in the public eye, and I think this was just I know it was it's a Tuesday afternoon game where there was probably 10,000 people in the stands, but
See, I think there's like more pressure on a first pitch than what you think.
Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't you skip yours?
I threw a little wide.
A little, yeah, and you're a college baseball player. You couldn't get over the plate. So
Yeah,
now
but
Conor
that
McGregor's
was-
never thrown a baseball in his life, probably.
This guy throws fucking punches, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying it stinks to me.
All right, so there
Doing
you
the sniff test. And
there
It just stinks. Something about it stinks.
the conspiracy theorist Dave,
Next week on Tinfoil Tuesday, we got White Sox
the
Dave.
beacon of humor, the Larry David of Chicago, has spoken on both issues
I
today.
am the Larry
fake.
David of Chicago.
He has spoken on the milk challenge. He has spoken.
Why is he the Larry
Spoke.
David of Chicago?
Well, he just
The way he's
his humor is just top notch.
You don't know funny.
feels like a
Yeah,
dig.
none of you guys do.
We don't know funny. No one knows funny, except for Dave. How about this, Dave? How about you tell me about a good product if someone wants to trim their balls?
You're not getting towards Manscaped, are you?
Of course I am.
Oh, then we're talking Manscaped.
I mean,
we'll
that's-
talk Manscaped until I'm fucking blue in the face.
Because
Do you
that's
wanna
the
talk
first
Manscaped?
product that came to mind when I asked you about a good product to shave your balls, right?
Yeah,
There's only one.
Yes.
That's in my experience. There's only one. This has been the only product that efficiently, safely cleans your balls.
They have the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. It's the ultimate parlay to your grooming. To take your grooming to the next level, hitting a favorite is fun, but shaving my balls with confidence, the folks at Manscaped have given me just that and have my trust when trimming my boys. The recently released Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is a favorite of mine, and it's a favorite of Dave and Chief's. Is that right?
Ed, have you ever gotten a paper cut?
I have.
How bad is a paper cut? Like right on your index finger, like you can hear it go.
They suck.
They're
suck.
awful.
They're so bad.
Now, imagine taking like a 4 razor blade
Have you done that? I'm getting a
to
little
your
sick.
nut sack, and you just hear that against the nut sack, and you're like, oh fuck, my balls are about to like leak out of the
You're gonna
sack.
bleed out.
You're gonna bleed out in the
Yeah.
shower. You don't got to worry about that
That'd
with Manscaped.
Or
Ed.
have you ever had that where you had to put a nice bandage over everything down there?
I can't say I've had to bandage up, and I'm glad I haven't. But now I don't even have to ever worry about that again because I use Manscaped.
Never had like a "there's something about Mary" situation down
It's like,
there.
just like gauze and ace bandage, like wrapped around you like a diaper.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. That was a zipper problem, not a
Yeah,
male
I know.
grooming
I know.
problem.
Right.
But
And
I
that-
understand your point. I have not. The worst actual pain. I did a hot wing challenge in college. It was called the Devil Sweat Challenge with like ghost pepper or whatever. And I had a little residue on my fingers, I guess, and I touched my nuts, and it
Was burning.
It was burning
There you go. And that's
to the
coming
point
from
where I wanted to kill myself.
That's coming from a guy who wore a jock strap to prom.
Why'd I wear a drop strap to prom?
Didn't you?
This is a slander.
No, I thought I could have
You
sworn.
want to play the slander game? I'll start playing the slander game, Ed.
Do it.
I'll wait. I'll wait until he says something
We
where
actually
I can slander
haven't
the fuck
done that in a long time.
slander
That
off?
was a Barstool Chicago Sirius
That was
radio
yeah,
special.
that was definitely a radio.
The slander game was big. I'm sorry. I heard a rumor before that you wore a
No,
jock
you
strap
did.
to prom.
You're a slander.
But you don't have to do that now because of Manscaped. There is a promo code. It gets you 20% off. It's a huge discount. So just use that promo code REDLINE, one word, at manscaped.com. And again, this is something that, like, again, I like to push products that I genuinely use. I have one. I use it. Game changer. Because that's always been my biggest fear is nicking my balls. So guess what I did when shaving? Just didn't shave them. Just never shaved the balls. Now,
Jesus.
very trim.
Dude.
I bet it was like a fucking war zone down there. Like
jungle.
straight up
It was a
Korengal Valley.
It was like a scary
quite
movie.
quite the pull.
I bet it was more bombed out and depleted than fucking Baghdad down there.
Slander.
I said I bet. You just said you didn't shave it. I bet it
Yeah,
was.
but I mean, it's not.
I
as
bet
bad
you
what
had
you're saying.
lice. Little crab action going on down there. Just a couple little
Just the
bugs
balls,
jumped
I'm
in
saying.
You
there.
ever seen Scary Movie?
No, I don't watch scary movies.
No, it's not a scary.
I've never seen it.
Are you
clearly.
fucking stupid?
I've never seen it.
It's a spoof comedy movie on Scary Movie.
Okay, I've
it's
never
one of
seen
the
it.
like most famous fucking movies
Hey,
of our
Dave,
childhood.
I haven't fucking
but you
seen
still
it.
that'd be like saying The Lion King
I was
and
thinking,
assuming it was like a National Geographic
was
work.
thinking Scream.
That's what they're making fun of.
Okay, so I got it mixed up in my brain.
I mean,
you relax?
even if you haven't seen it,
I
you still
haven't.
should know the premise of it.
I don't. Never seen it.
Did you grow up under a fucking rock with all the crabs in your fucking pubes?
No, I just didn't. I didn't enjoy it. So what?
Can
This
I get a backup here? How is this?
Yeah, he catches me like every fucking week on Dog Walk on Tuesdays about
Yeah,
not
Ed's
seeing
never
a movie.
seen fucking anything.
So I can't really say
It's-
anything.
but-
But for the fact that you didn't know the genre of Scary Movie was
I
a little.
assumed it was a scary movie.
No, it's a comedy making fun of like the
Yeah,
slasher
it's a
movies
spoof.
of the late 90s.
But anyways, like they do. Have you ever seen the movie Scream?
Yes.
Okay,
I stuffed the shit out of it.
yeah, that's number 2. Might
I
be
got it
better.
with my good hand.
Never even heard of Scary Movie.
He's heard of it. He
I've
thought it was
heard
a
of
horror movie.
but I thought, yeah, like I assumed it was.
How
just-
is it?
I don't.
I
even
can
know how
understand
that's
not
possible.
seeing it. Of course, everybody has.
I haven't seen it.
Multiple movies you haven't seen.
Yeah.
That'd be like me saying I had never seen Shrek until a couple
But
months
that's
back.
like saying no one's quoted it to you or talked about it to you before.
But if they did, I just didn't. Like Dave just did a quote. I had no. I was lost. It went way
it's
over
the
my
guy
head.
with the bat.
Yeah, it's my strong hand.
With my strong hand.
But anyway, my point.
It's hilarious.
It's one of my favorites.
Maybe this Halloween season I'll watch it.
I don't know how it's held up. I'd be interesting. Maybe we'll
I haven't
watch
watched
it.
it.
Maybe we'll
years
do
and
a
years.
viewing party.
Yeah,
here.
that'd be good. But anyway, the point of the story was the trope about how virgins can only die. What?
That was a good word there.
You like
Thank
the word
you.
trope?
Yeah, like how virgins you can't die in the scare whatever. So that's like a big whatever.
Okay.
And she bangs Billy, the boyfriend, but in Scary Movie they she's a virgin, so they like pull her underwear off, and, like bats
got
fly
it, yeah.
out, and like the fucking like pubes just go up to the ceiling. So that's what I was envisioning when you made your comment, Chief.
Okay.
Can we
roundabout.
get I mean, just for like, think of us like we're in a doctor's office. Can you show us your pubes?
I mean, they're trimmed up now.
Okay, because of Manscaped.
Yeah.
Get 20% off and free shipping with code REDLINE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code REDLINE at manscaped.com. For a clean Trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you. All right, so we're going to get to Frank Schwindel here in a second. Fun interview. What are you laughing about?
I did it with my good.
It's my strong hand.
It's a guy from. We were just talking. It was something about Mary. Same guy.
Yeah.
That has the zit on his eyeball.
Yeah. Legendary character. I think his name was Hanson. Legendary character. Frank Schwindel ripping it up. Dave
I might
can't-
watch this movie tonight. I might go throw it on. There's no baseball on.
Let us
Can
know.
you get it together?
Frank Schwindel, he was hitting like, I don't know, 400 in the last month or something. Been around the block.
Regular
Old,
guy.
Regular Joe.
You appreciate that.
I do. I like him. He's actually good. I like
Yeah.
watching him play. He's just one of those scrap ball
How old
players.
is he?
I'd say 20,
29.
29. Yeah.
He's 29. It was a fun interview. Fun guy, wrote a divvy over.
Yep.
And he was just like the nicest, like, hey guys, I play for the Cubs. Like it was like
Yeah.
Henry Rowengartner almost. It was very endearing. So it was a fun interview. Let's just kick it over to it, Dave.
Whoosh.
Okay, we're in the interview portion of today's show. We're joined by Cubs first baseman Frank Schwindel. Frank, thanks so much for joining us.
No problem. Happy to be here.
So let's just jump into it, man. You were given a pretty impossible task of replacing Anthony Rizzo. And I'm just curious, after 3,500 something minor league at bats, like what about that grind has prepared you for this opportunity?
Oof. I feel like I've seen it all. Just being, as hot as can be and as cold as can be and trying to find the middle there. But, yeah, definitely not an easy situation coming into Chicago and trying to fill in for him. Even my first couple games over there, we were the first base side chanting, "We want Rizzo back" and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, yeah.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's like it's not my fault. A bunch of at bats in the minors, and finally got this opportunity and trying to take advantage of it.
I mean, you had like a pretty wild 2021 in general, right?
Oh, it's been unbelievable.
You kicked it off with a kid.
Yep. Kicked
DFA.
it off with a kid in January, born at halftime of a Giants game. So I had that on the TV.
Look at that.
But that started off awesome. And then good spring training.
Yeah.
And then head to the alt site in Stockton, California. Not the best spot.
Yeah.
So we scrimmage against the Giants AAA about 16 times. And then start off the year in Vegas, which is an awesome place to play. And then 2 weeks in Oakland. Sent down for one game, DFA, claim, a week in Iowa, and then up here. It's been wild.
What's it like to be DFA'd?
Oof. I mean, not many worse feelings.
Yeah.
Especially, I think it was 20 at-bats or something with the A's.
Yeah.
Feeling good, and then, not playing every day is tough. But then, you feel pretty down about that.
Yeah.
But
is that like a conversation? I know there's the famous scene in Major League where they're like, you don't want to get red tagged or pink tagged. Like, is it a tag, or is it someone comes up to you like, hey, Skip wants to talk to you?
So I walk in that day, and it was weird. I wasn't in the lineup, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe something happened. And the manager in Vegas is unbelievable. He's a good guy. We played golf with him every Wednesday. And he's like, hey, Frank, come on in. I'm like, all right, what do you got for me? And he's just like, no, some bad news, taking you off the roster or whatever, need that spot. I'm like, not many worse feelings, especially coming from a guy like we were so close, we were stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, he said he was positive. He's like, I think it'll be a good opportunity for you because if somebody claims you, that you'll go right up and go from there.
Yeah, it sounds like having a good positive attitude through that process is important. And one thing that's really jumped out with you is there's this like fun-loving sense across the fan base. What would like your friends and family say to this Frank the Tank mantra that's like very quickly evolved?
Oh, they love it. If you check out Instagram, my one buddy, he's got the FTT Army account, the Frank the Tank Army, and I think I left 10 tickets a week straight in Wrigley. They had the T-shirts going and everything. They're having a blast. I think they're having more fun than me. But no, it's just been crazy. A couple big hits that week, and then it caught on.
So I'm gonna read some stats to you. In the month of September, you've hit 7 home runs and 11 extra base hits compared to just 8 strikeouts, a .392 batting average, a .760 slugging percentage. Did you put up better or worse numbers in high school?
Worse. I think only the average was better. But, we didn't have a fence, and I'm not the fastest guy, so it was tough to hit homers in Livingston. I've still been lobbying for the guys to get a fence, but they won't do it. But, no, I mean, this past 2 months or whatever, it's just been crazy.
Have you ever been this hot?
I had a real good stretch in Vegas. I think I had 6 homers in a week or something. But still, that's it's AAA. Nothing compares to this.
And the ball flies there a little bit too, right?
Oof, yeah, there's some good hitting in Vegas.
Okay, what about hitting at Wrigley? You like that?
Oh, I love it. The day games are real nice. I heard when it gets cold or a little more windy, it's not as forgiving. I saw a Hap hit a 104 at 30 that stayed in the yard, and then.
So you say 104 at 30. Can I interpret that? I've never heard anyone talk like that. 104 mean
exit velocity.
Exit velocity and 30 is the angle?
Degrees, yeah. So
when did you start talking like that?
Well, I hit at this place in the off season, and we got the hit track. So it's like a golf simulator. So every swing you take is recorded on camera, and you take one swing, you look at the screen, you see where it goes on the field, you get to pick the field, stuff like that, and then it says how hard you hit it and what angle. And on the board at Wrigley in right field, it has exit velo and launch angle. So you'll catch guys, they'll clip one and then look at that board down the right field line, like knowing right away if they got it or not. So it's pretty funny.
Where were you at mentally coming in when you went to the Cubs, and it was after the DFA, and were you like, all right, like are you kind of just hoping for the best, or you're like, hey, I'm still gonna do this? Like, what kind of mindset was it there in July?
At first, I was real excited when I got claimed, obviously, because that means somebody wanted me enough to put me right on the roster. Mm-hmm. So that's obviously a great feeling. But then, a couple rough games in Iowa to start, and I'm like, oh man, here we go. Like, I was playing unbelievable, and then baseball is a crazy game. I had one bad week in Iowa, and I was not necessarily down, but not that confidence that I had, in Vegas. And then, got called up. Obviously, when all the trades and they dumped off all those guys, and I was like, all right, here we got a chance here. And then just knowing I was gonna get a chance to play, rather than, bat off the bench or like a couple pinch hits here and there, or like playing against lefties. Just knowing that I was going to be in the lineup obviously helps a ton, and then just went from there. But really not really no expectations, but I was just, show up and hit and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you were just so happy to get an everyday opportunity. That's,
100%.
I mean, the sample size is just unbelievable,
Yeah.
when it comes to Major League Baseball.
And the fact that it's not just you, but having Wisdom next to you, and it's like these two guys that Cubs fans, and one of the big things with being a Cubs fan over the last couple of years is not really seeing guys get an opportunity from the minor league system, because there's just been so many good, consistent core players that have been around for a long time. There is a sense of like being, it's not just refreshed, but it's like there's hope. There's this empowerment that like, it can come from really anywhere.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's just the biggest thing, is just being comfortable in the lineup every day, not having to walk in and see if your name's going to be on there, not checking if there's a lefty throwing that, all right, I'm going to start this game and probably not going to play the rest of the series, stuff like that. It just helps mentally knowing that you're just going to be in there and seeing at-bats every day.
So on the mental side, I've really enjoyed hearing about your approach to hitting secondhand on the broadcast and those close to the clubhouse. You talk about the way Frank steps in the box. I'd like to hear it from you, though, personally. What's going through your mindset as you get in the box to have success against Major League hitting? Because from what I've heard, it's pretty unique.
I mean, that's a tough question, because I'll base it off who's throwing, what do they got, but I'm just looking for a strike and looking to hit it as hard as I can. Just keep it. That's the simple way, and then 2 strikes. That's not my at bat anymore. It's a team at bat, so just grind it out and throw some bat at it.
Are you anti strikeout? Because a lot of guys have kind of embraced the fact that like throughout the year you're going to strike out and you kind of just take what you get, but you don't seem to strike out that much.
No, I feel like there's situations where it's not the worst thing if you strike out, like, rather than a double play, stuff like that. But, I'm always been a choke up with 2 and make something happen. If you saw yesterday, I had the pretty terrible swing, and I had a hit over Vogelbach that was about 48 exit velo. So, that's much better than a strikeout or something like that in that spot. But no, I just take pride in grinding out at bats and trying to make something happen. But strikeouts are going to happen, but it's just, whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
What was the interesting, the trade deadline from your guys' perspective down there? Like, you're watching it intently and you see that? Like, obviously, no one knew if Rizzo was going to be one of the guys that got traded. We had Chris Bryant on last week, and he said as much, and he was the first kind of domino to go. Are you guys sitting around being like, whoa, who's going to get an opportunity? How does that work?
We say we're not, but obviously it's in the back of our minds that it's a possibility. Like, nobody wants to just stay in AAA forever.
Yeah.
So if that slim chance anything happens that we can go up, whatever. But for me it was weird because Chris Bryant could still play some first base, and if he was still here, Wisdom played some first, and so once he went, it was a good chance. And then once Rizzo went, that was I think right before one of our games, and then I got a couple at bats and got taken out midway, and I was like, all right, maybe this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. But we were loosely back of our minds thinking about it just because. Everybody left, so somebody had to fill their spot.
Yeah.
So it was a good situation for us guys to be in.
Yeah.
Did you have like an internal conversation with, was it like Ross or Jed or somebody who was like, hey, just so you know, you might get some negative pushback from fans right away because they miss Rizzo. Like, we joked around a little bit, but was there anybody who was like, hey, Frank, now that you're here, you should probably know just how much Cubs fans love the guy you're taking over for?
No, I wasn't warned at all, but you just see them. The fans are they're so great, but just knowing, like you saw with Chris Bryant's tribute on the board, the whole place was emotional, and they cheered louder for him than any of our guys those days. But that just shows how faithful the fans are here. They're unbelievable. But yeah, I wasn't prepared early on, but I think I'm winning some fans over here and there, just a couple at a time. But I don't think anybody could replace those guys.
I mean, I don't want to say too much, a couple over time, but yeah, I think you've really done a fantastic job, especially in the month of September, where we're just like, we can really fucking work with this guy and build around this guy as a fan. Like, do you and like, is it Wisdom or one of these guys, you guys are looking around at the fans' reaction to KB and stuff for that Giant series, being like, wait, they could be like this for us?
I don't imagine that. He had all the awards: Gold Glove, Rookie of the Year, All-Star, World Series. I'm just happy to be here right now, but could be a possibility down the road. But yeah, I'm just here playing right now and trying to enjoy every second of it. But the fans that have come up to me, whatever, autographs, pictures, they've been nothing but supportive. So I'm having a great time.
Has it always been Frank the Tank? Like even in high school and stuff, did everybody call you that?
More so pro ball since I started hitting more homers. But
Gotcha.
obviously that was just because of the name being Frank.
Yeah.
And now starting to do a little more damage, it makes a little more sense.
Yeah, I feel like we need to figure something out with Frank though. I feel like every Frank can't be Frank the Tank. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what like it's we have a Frank too in New York, and he goes by Frank the Tank.
Yep.
Every Frank the Tank. I feel like at what point do we
where do we draw the line?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if is there anything else that makes sense there.
Well, what about Franklin? And then we just have like a bunch of hundreds on the shirt or something like.
Yeah, the turtle too.
The Bills, yeah, Franklin Turtle.
Yeah, you like Franklin?
Maybe based on my speed, but I did get a bag yesterday.
There you go.
First steal.
There you go.
Did you steal off the pitcher or the catcher?
It was pretty much a defensive indifference, but they put it on the sheet, so we're good.
Okay, those listening, defensive indifference is when they don't even try and make a play on it.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
Do you delay steal?
Not much.
Don't
I figure
start.
If I'm on base, I got Hap, Contreras, Wisdom hitting behind me. Don't do anything stupid to waste an out. Let them homer me in or something.
So you are a baseball junkie. I think that's fair to say. Just look, you play year round. Going back to Dominican leagues a couple of years in a row. You're up and down different minor league levels. You get a chance with the Royals. The 2020 season though, you didn't play at all, right?
No, it was just spring training and then spring training 2.0 in Detroit and then just the alternate site in Toledo.
So are you that much different now than you were before the COVID break, or was there something that really took off when you spent that year off that changed who you are?
Not really. I think it was beneficial being in that camp though. We were facing, I felt like it was me and all first rounders. It was all the prospects. It was, Torkelson, Riley Green, it was Casey Mize, Matt Manning, they're all going to make an impact in Detroit, and the pitchers are already up there. We're facing those guys every day. So that was beneficial. And then, just keeping the mindset that we're just getting better when really there was no pressure. It was like a summer camp, but, we're off machine every day, stuff like that, just trying to make the best of it. But it made me realize, like, how much I missed the game. Like, once that 2021 season came around, it was like, all right, let's do this. Like, this is, what I'm here to do, and it made it that much better.
That's awesome, man. I'm sorry. I just love that stuff because the grind mentality that it takes and for you to have the success now is great,
Yeah, I mean, you said we were talking earlier, still in the hotel and you're rotating through 6 polo, so like you're it's awesome. You're a very easy guy to root for, Frank.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering like what's left for you to prove. Like how can you is there anything in your mind that you have to do now going into next year to finish out this season going into next year?
Just try and, keep it as consistent as possible. Obviously, nobody can expect this every day. And, nobody's going to hit 350. Nobody's going to hit 400. Nobody's going to homer every other day. But, just trying to put together some good at-bats and do whatever I can. And, go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, how do you, the happy to be here playing well phase, how do you, take that next step, right? Isn't that what it is, kind of, or no?
I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm just going to try and keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But once you start to getting out of that mindset, trying to do too much, then I think things spiral out of control, and you can't be content with what I'm doing either, because then, it could change real quick.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is interesting too, because it's just, you're so new and, people want to get to know you and stuff. So you're a Giant fan, you're from Jersey. Yep. So you're like a diehard Jersey guy or what?
I wouldn't say that, but
yeah,
I'm proud of where I came from.
Yeah. Okay. Are you like a Todd Frazier diehard? I feel like you can't mention Jersey without mentioning Todd Frazier.
I met him this past offseason, actually. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of player comparisons to him.
Do you?
I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing, because we do take some crazy swings. But,
it's the leg kick, man, that you just load up on that, right?
Hey, might as well.
Yeah.
But swing hard in case you hit it.
Yeah.
But, no, it's funny. He was a great player for years, and definitely Jersey's finest.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you get caught up in that Jersey Little League scene as a kid?
We lost in the States every year. So we'd win the districts every season. We'd win the sectionals, and then we'd lose. We lost 2 years in a row in the States. So right before like the TV rounds. But no, we had some good teams growing up.
And then behind the scenes a little bit, do you have any pregame routines or any superstitions that make their way into the clubhouse?
I'll stay away from foods that don't get me hits, stuff like that. Like, I can't mention names. I had the one coffee shop when I had 0 for 5, and so did the guy that rode to the field with me, Hermosillo. Will never go back.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
I like that.
Stuff like that.
Any other like generic things? Like you don't do cheese sticks?
No, I'll usually do stomach-friendly foods before the game.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
All
in
right.
Milwaukee, I stayed away from the brats, stuff like that.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. A nice yogurt.
Yeah, exactly. Little Oikos, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Who are you pointing to when you hit a home run? I think is that the first thing you do? You touch home plate, you throw your hands up?
Well, yeah, that was the series where I had about 10 people here every day. The Schwindel City shirts were all up there, and they had the fat heads, so... Yeah, a bunch of them, it was the first time seeing me play, so they were pumped. And then a couple guys came that, they were at my Royals debut, 0 for 4. They were at in Houston when I was with the A's and saw an 0 for 4. So 2 guys were almost not allowed back unless they saw some hits. So that was for them.
I like that. I like how superstitious he is about this stuff.
Oh,
well, and the numbers are there, so don't change anything.
Exactly, yeah. We had the one kid here. He was my buddy Duff. He was here for about 9 days straight. And he was staying at the hotel working from his computer. But I was just like, man, he saw more hits this week than anybody I can imagine. So I was like, you're not leaving. He's like, I got to get my life together.
You might not be able to leave the hotel.
No, I've been bouncing around.
All right. I was going to say, like, if you keep the hitting up, it's like you're...
No, I don't want you buying a place or anything.
Yeah.
You're just staying at the hotel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we talked before the interview started. You have this kind of like, I think the internet locally is picking up on the fact that you are just this regular fucking guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're like, here's a picture of Frank Schwindel walking around in slacks and like a unbuttoned polo. And it's just like every day, it's like, here's Frank walking to the ballpark, regular fucking Joe. You stride in today, slacks in the golf polo. What's the dresser situation like, or what's your wardrobe situation right now?
I just unzip the suitcase, fold it in half, and I got the stack of polos, the couple button-down travel shirts, the 2 or 3 pants that get washed every other day, and then I got the one Gucci shoes that I get shit for, and then and then that's pretty much it.
This is like when I went to Omaha to cover the College World Series with Mincy and Brandon Walker, and they're like, hey, you're going to be out here for 2 days. I brought a backpack. I was there for 2 weeks.
Oh, there you go.
Never left.
And it didn't leave the hotel.
Oh, yeah, this was like the same rotation. I got called up from Salt Lake. It was a 1 week, it was a 6-game series, so I brought 1 pair of pants and 1 pair of shorts and then a couple polos, and then they said I was going up from there, so we went right to the store. We're like, all right, we need at least 2 more, 3 more, and then been living off those same rotation.
Off days, or something you've really come to enjoy around Chicago, how you spend your time when you get away from the field?
Oh, it's been great. The one day Jay Hay took us out on his boat. We did the whole coastline.
Whoa.
And that was pretty awesome.
Nice boat?
Beautiful.
How many guys on that boat?
I think it was 12 with captain and first mate. So, yeah, I mean, can't beat that.
You like to hear that from Jay Hay.
Oh, great guy.
Good on him.
Yeah, took us all out. Had some pizza, wings, whatever. And then, a couple off days. My buddies were in town, so we, walked the beach. We did a couple of spots. We ate on the Riverwalk. Had a Lou Malnati's pizza.
You said that hesitantly. Was it okay?
No, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Not the huge deep dish. I don't think I'd be a fan of that, but I haven't tried it yet. But no, it was good. But stuff like that, just exploring the city here and there.
Yeah, 1 day at a time. It sounds like.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I'm fascinated by you. I'll be honest. Just because like you're taking it so one day and like, well, yeah, I'm just hitting.
Yeah.
I don't drink this coffee because I want to hit. Like it's fascinating.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah, Frank, you're easy to cheer for, man.
No, I appreciate it. It means a lot.
I hope that our fans are getting to enjoy a chance to know you, and I hope we get to see more of you, and that this off season and we can build and take next steps. What do you think you're going to be your big goals, or as you come out of this and kind of gear up for what seems to be like an everyday career now?
No, I mean, my only goal is to finish this year strong and be the everyday guy next year. So whatever I got to do to make that happen, and hopefully I've convinced them enough to at least bring me back. But just doing what I can, and I love the city. I love playing for the Cubs, and I just want to keep doing it.
Awesome.
I'm sold. Frank, thanks so much for coming in and spending some time with Barstool Chicago. We can't wait to see you some more.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so that was Frank Schwindel. Great to have him in the office. Looking forward to having more people in the office. And it's nice to have the Cubs corner infielders. It was a good start. Hopefully in the coming weeks we're going to be getting some White Sox in here, huh?
Yeah. We can tease it out. It is confirmed for the most part. We do got Ozzie Guillen coming back.
Confirmed for the most part.
For the most part. Mostly confirmed. Is that better?
I mean, I feel like it's either you can't be half pregnant. Either he's coming in or he's not, and then you shouldn't talk about it.
No, he's like, yes, he will. Waiting on time to confirm for October 4th.
Okay.
So.
Well, that would be good. Perfect guy to lead into the playoffs with.
I think so. He won a world championship. First White Sox or Cubs coach to win a championship in 200 seasons of baseball when they won it in 2005. So we're going to get on with him. Love that. I don't love how the White Sox are playing right now.
Yeah, what's going on? You've said repeatedly over and over, I see you on Twitter, you had like a mini meltdown yesterday that we haven't seen since.
It was
maybe not meltdown, but like you were
frustration
visibly on Twitter, like just tweeting out like question marks about like I don't know what was going on in the game, but you were.
What did I say that question mark about?
I don't know, but you were just like, what the fuck, and like you like I don't think you said like one positive thing for 3 hours during that game, and you were very down on them, but you've been like they'll get it together, they'll get it together, they'll get it together.
So
at what point do you start to get nervous?
You can't. No, I'm not nervous at all. Like they could play like this through game 162, and I won't be nervous. They backed up Dallas Keuchel, who will not be hopefully making any playoff starts, with Jace Fry, who will not be on the playoff roster. And you just won't see that. They're still resting guys. Vaughn's still out. Eloy's scuffling. I don't really care. It's just it's got to be tough because this division's been clinched without actually being clinched since May, June. I mean, they're in coast mode right now. They're sick of playing. There was like 10 people, and it's the dog days, and I don't want to make excuses for poor play or carry water or anything, but the game got moved from 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., whatever it was, East Coast, to noon yesterday. There was like 10 people there. It was raining. How the fuck are you supposed to get up for that game? It's human nature to just be like, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get the fuck out of Detroit. That said, like, you got a job to do, go and do it. And, I mean, they stranded 18,000 runners yesterday, and it was just bad baseball. It was bad, and I didn't enjoy watching it, and I was pissed. But at the same time, like, I know they're better than that. Player for player, like I've said it before, and I'll reiterate and dig my heels onto the ground that there's not really any rosters in baseball outside maybe the Los Angeles Dodgers, who I would trade straight up player for player for. So, I mean, it's getting down to do or die time. I want Vaughn to get back. I want them to get some lineup cohesion. I want them to stop resting guys, stop playing patty cake with all the, like, it's baseball. It's not other than pitching. Like, lineup, you shouldn't be that fucking sore day in and day out. Like, get these guys going and let them hit the ground running heading into Houston, because that's who they're going to be playing in the first round. So I'm looking forward to it.
See, that's the type of thing that would worry me, because like that's a team that's been through the wars. Like that's a team that knows how to get up for game one of a series. They're going to be maybe the worst team for you guys to play if you're slumping all the way in. Like that's the thing that's like across sports.
I don't really agree with that. Like,
why not?
Houston's had a lot of struggles against a lot of bad teams this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like they're a great team. Obviously, they got a loaded lineup. They're probably best offensive lineup in baseball, top to bottom. But like I'm ready for the challenge as a fan. I think the White Sox, should they play not even above their capabilities, just to their capabilities, can be anybody in baseball.
Yeah.
And I've said it before, I don't give a flying fuck who they're playing in the first round. It'd be honestly nice if it was the Yankees, because the Yankees absolutely fucking stink. I don't care about the 1-5 record against them this year. That is meaningless. But like it is what it is.
I thought, we hired the new guy, Chris Castellani, up there in Detroit. I thought he had a good post-game little press conference that he does about the game. Did you see it at all?
I did not see it. What did he say?
I think he's coming on next week, and because the Bears play the Lions, and we'll be wrapping up with the final series with the White Sox. They play Detroit, but I thought it was pretty good. I'll pull it up here so you could listen to it.
You can try to explain all you want what's happening, but none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. It doesn't make sense how this team is playing.
And this is from a Tigers perspective.
The mound, considering the lineups and considering who they're playing. 11 games in a row against first-place teams. They are 8-3. And before I gush about the Tigers, which I'm going to do, I thought they played great today. I thought the offense was great. The White Sox should be better to me. They're a very good team. They're going to run away with the division. They get hot in the pitching holds. Maybe they will be a team that's going to make it to the World Series. But, I don't know. I feel like that offense, while it's full of guys who are really good, should be better. Eloy Jimenez should not be a sub-800 hitter. And I know he's been injured this year. I feel the same way about Moncada. All good players, but they should be generational, world-beating guys. And they're not quite there yet. Robert, yes. We know how good Anderson and Abreu are, but I don't know. They've become kind of a frustrating team in the latter part of the season. And especially, you look at who the Tigers have put out there the last 2 days. The Tigers shouldn't be within 8 runs of this team. They shouldn't be. If this was Mize and Skubal going out and without an innings limit and just shoving perfect command, swing and miss stuff, and they go 7 scoreless, I'd say, hey, you know what? That's probably frustrating for White Sox fans, but that happens. Look at who the Tigers have thrown out there. Guys, Brian Garcia, Jason Foley, Tyler Alexander, Drew Hutchison, all pitching scoreless frames, locating, pitching good baseball against really good hitters, and they just keep rolling. And that's why, look, I think I've implied this many times, maybe even joked about it, but now I'm dead serious. AJ Hinch should be manager of the year. I don't care if this team.
That was really it about.
Yeah, I know. There's not a thing he said that I disagree with. Honestly, not one thing. Like Moncada, he's been a hot talking point this year. I know what his wins above replacement is. I know what his weighted run. I understand all that. A lot of people were expecting generational. He was the headliner in a Chris Sale deal, and I understand that. How can you bitch about a player who's going to be worth 5 wins above replacement? Because he's leaving a lot on the table to be desired. He's got 12 bombs this year. Anderson's missed way more games than him. He's got more. And Moncada, he should be better. And I'm hoping that and I know it's unfair to say this after a 162 game season, and I know it's probably who he is this year. I'm not saying he's going to be, some sub 800 OPS guy moving forward, but I'm hoping it clicks for him in the playoffs. You start seeing him drive the ball. Robert. He's just superstar. He's fucking amazing. I don't even need to talk about him. He's going to be a top 5 player in baseball, maybe even better than that. And then Eloy, he's swinging too much, and his timing's just off a hair. Once he connects on one, it's going to be the floodgates are open again. And I mean, he's had a month worth of games, 6 weeks worth of games, if that. So it's going to be a completely new season come October 7th. I think is their first game against Houston. I know people are worried about the proverbial switch being able to even be flipped. I think it's going to flip. I really do. I mean, these guys haven't had to play for fucking anything for months, and it's just you're going through the motions, and it is what it is. I almost wish that the Tigers are going to be the number 1 contender in the AL Central for years to come. I almost wish they were just even better this year, so it'd give the Sox a reason to be okay, we got to fucking win today.
Yeah.
All these no-name pitchers, they're probably just half-assing I'm not going to see this guy next year because he's not going to be in the big leagues. I'm just going to go up there and hack. I'm not going to watch as much video. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'm sure they're just going through the motions. But it's time to stop that. It is time to stop that. Get the fuck out of my face with this. Start playing who you are going to play every single game in the playoffs, every single game right now. There's 11 games left in the season. Let these guys gel as a lineup as a working unit, and if they're playing this dog shit, in a week and a half from now, I think there's reason for concern. I think that we're going to see a hot team going into the playoffs. So I think they're going to win 4 or 5 in a row, and I think it's going to be off to the races for them. And that's as sincere as I can possibly be with this team.
Yeah, I mean, We'll see. 11 games left. We'll see, man. It's just
it's
like you talk about the senioritis thing. It could be the case here.
That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I see like this. There's a thing in hockey where I feel like it probably just doesn't exist in baseball, where it's like if you're going through this and the whole team's kind of dragging ass, like it wouldn't, like in that situation, it would not shock me if Tate just went out and fought somebody, like just to get everybody's attention. Like, let's fucking go. And I'm wondering if there is like a baseball equivalent of like a leader stepping up, doing something that just gets everybody's attention. But like it just seems like everybody's kind of on the same page as like in coast mode, like you said.
Maybe Anderson, flipping a bat to the moon after he hits his next bomb in the next few days or, next week or whenever that may be.
It just seems like they're lifeless. Like they need something to give them a little gas and get everybody going. So
because
you're
playing
not
the Tigers
having
in
to
front of
flip
10
a switch.
in front of 10 people when it's pouring rain out is not gonna. Nobody's gonna want to get up for that.
Right.
And that's just human nature, and it's it's a weak excuse, but it is also the truth at the same time. So it is what it is. Just stay the course. Let's get to October. And then, like I've said all fucking summer, you give me Giolito, you give me Lance Lynn, you give me that back end of the bullpen, which stuff-wise is as good as any back end or better in baseball. And that lineup, and, they match up well with anybody, and that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Notice I didn't say Carlos Rodon. He's starting Tuesday by all accounts. He's hit a fucking wall. His arm's not built up enough to pitch, this many innings because he hasn't done it in 5 years. The last time he's done this is 2016. I just hope that he's got 20 good innings left in him because that's all they really need out of him.
So is he the 4 then now?
He's going to be the 3 still, I'm assuming. I think I would personally have him be the 3, kind of be an opener and just take it inning by inning. Hope you can get 5 innings out of him. Then you got Cease to back him up, and then you got, Hendricks is going to be leaned on a ton in the playoffs. And he's a guy that likes pitching multiple innings anyway, so I'm assuming he's going to have the ball constantly throughout the postseason, kind of like how the Indians rode Andrew Miller in 2016 and prior to that. So that's how I see it coming. And like I said, I'm not afraid of the Houston Astros, Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not afraid of any team in baseball. I think that the White Sox, should they play to their capabilities?
Have they done that at all this year?
They haven't yet. That's
that's what I mean.
So, it's going to come eventually, right?
Yeah, I would be worried that it's not going to come this year. Because it's like this team is like they're still on the upswing.
Yeah.
That maybe this is like one of those learning experience years where they just,
See,
they stub their toe a little bit.
Maybe that is the case and it doesn't come.
Mm-hmm.
But that was 2020 for me. I know it was a 60-game sprint.
Yeah.
But that was like I expect victory now.
Okay.
Every single time they take the mound or the batter's box or take the field, I expect them to win a baseball game and dismantle teams. And they haven't really done that. I want to say their biggest win streak's only 5 games this year.
Right.
Something like that. It's not many. But
We'll see, man. It's hard to. It's just a weird time to talk about them, I think, too.
Yeah, it's all about October.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna get, and it's gonna the White Sox talk is really gonna ramp up, and it's coming, but it's almost like you need to finish this 162 out. And then really take
you're
it
checking boxes. You're just
I was. What'd you think of Fleury's pads?
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. And he always has, so they did the big photo shoot and the introductory press conference, all that kind of shit. They had the media tour. He looked great. So I'm a sucker for the old school tan pads. His look great. So, and he's saying this is basically my last go around. So this is going to be his last year. He's probably going to retire. He's only on a 1-year deal here.
Last go around. Maybe that could mean last team. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's his last season.
You think so?
I think he's 36, 7 years old. So he was kind of a revelation last year winning the Vezina. No one really saw that coming, including Vegas. And so the Hawks have, they have a good tandem now, So I did, probably a 2,000-word blog on the defense yesterday. It really, they have horses now. It's one of those things where you're looking at the roster, the top 4 is set. I haven't been able to say that for since 2016. I'm trying to think of what was the year they lost Oduya. I think that was either 15 or 16. Yeah, it's the same year they lost Sharp. So since the Stanley Cup final, where they in 15, where they leaned on those 4 guys, they didn't have 6. Now they really have at least 7, maybe 8 guys that you're comfortable with in the lineup. and that you're comfortable with them in the lineup because the guys who are the 5th and 6th guys who just aren't going to play that much because the top 4 is Jones, DeHaan, McCabe, and Murphy, and that's a very good top 4. So training camp for the first time ever, and I mean that, like, it's really ever, because when the dynasty, the team was kind of set, and there are spots available for guys to win jobs this year, and training camp starts today. If you're listening to this today, it starts on Thursday. There's spots to win, and then there's going to be like some NHL caliber guys, both on defense and forward, that are starting the year in Rockford or have to be placed on waivers because they have some organizational depth for the first time that I can remember. So it'll be nice to see. I am, like, this summer has been an unmitigated disaster for the Blackhawks on multiple levels. I am very excited to see what this team does on the ice because they have the goaltending. Fleury's pads look sick. He's going to be good. Lankinen really hit the wall, kind of like what you're saying with Rodon. Like, he was great, and then he just ran out of gas because he's never had to play starter load minutes at any level. He never did it in junior, never did it anywhere. He got tired. He got tired in March, and so I think that they'll be right there for the playoffs, and it'll be interesting to see who makes this team because it is going to be very competitive for the end of the roster with good, capable players.
Yeah, there should be something enjoyable in that for you, right? Like how Carl says, like, he's sinking into, like, first time he loaded up the prospect list and everything.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in that mode a little bit, but like you still have stuff to be excited for. So that's kind of like a good mix.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they run it as like a pure meritocracy where it's like the best guys are on the team, or if it's like, well, Nylander, he's on the team. Yeah, stuff like that. And because, like, they have, like, previous years where they were playing these rookies and they're, like, telling us how great Bolquist is and how great Nylander is, and they're going to be the next part of the next core. And anybody with the eyeballs and a brain knew that those guys sucked. And now that's not the case. Like, Nylander, like, he missed all last year with an injury. Excuse me. He's got to compete with Reichel, Borgstrom, maybe an Evan Barrett. They signed, Tyler Johnson, Dylan Strome still in, like, all those kind of, like, extra spots where it's like, man, our roster really falls off after the top 6. It's not the case anymore. Like, you better show up ready to play, otherwise you're going to be in the fucking bus leagues, and that's a very positive thing for the Blackhawks. So I am excited for the season, and excited for the preseason. Like, I'm excited to watch these young guys to see who can actually, like, step up and grab a job, because there are jobs there to be had, but the competition is real. They're not handing out jobs like they used to.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Everybody get fired up. Let's go.
A little positivity there.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I think
we got it.
What?
I know we hate him, but Mark Lazarus says Jonathan Taves looks ripped right now.
Yeah, everybody's saying that. So he's another guy who's out all year.
I don't even know him.
Mark Lazarus?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy who's like the athletic.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
but like we don't like him.
Yeah, we don't like him.
All right.
Like, whatever. I don't like either one of those guys. But yeah, that's all reports. And then I've talked to guys who've been playing golf with him, and he's healthy and happy and
good shit,
looking like he's been working his fucking ass off, because I think a lot of people were just writing him off when he was out with whatever the fuck he was out with. And so now he's back, and he's always been a guy who's in pretty good shape. So if he's elevated that to another level, they need him. Like, everything kind of falls in line if he's like a number one center, because people are trying to hand that to Doc. I just don't think Doc's ever going to be as good as Taves. Like, he's just like, he's a very nice player. Taves is like a bona fide number one center, and those are very hard to find. Doc might be. I think he will be a very good number two, but not a guy who can be like, hey, you're this number one center on a team that's winning the cup. I don't think Doc's quite that, but he's very. So then if Taves is your one center, Doc is your two, and you can insulate him with DeBrincat and Kane, now your top 6 looking pretty dangerous. If Taves is like a point per game guy, like they're on paper they look pretty good.
You drinking the Kool-Aid?
I mean, the division's stacked. The division is stacked. Like Minnesota's people are kind of sleeping on Minnesota. I think I don't know how that happens after last year. They were a very, very good team last year. They took Vegas to 7 games, and then people are like, oh well, Colorado will kill Vegas. Vegas killed Colorado in that series. They lost the first game, and then they won 4 out of 5 to win the series. Vegas is So if Minnesota is basically just as good as Vegas, and they have two very good prospects coming in, they're removing Suter and Parise, which if you talk to guys in and around that team, all the other guys in the team are like, good, get those guys out of here. Later. They're kind of like veteran assholes, didn't really want to be there, and like they were kind of disgruntled that they weren't like the guys on the team anymore. Now it's like the next young core, Hartman, Kaprizov, who they signed yesterday, big money, Matt Dumba, Spurgeon, but they have a very, very good team. Colorado's a very good team. Winnipeg's a very good team. Like it's going to be Dallas is a year removed from being in the Stanley Cup final. Like it's the Hawks are going to be Central's going to be a fucking war, and I think they'll be right there around that 4-5, maybe get a wild card spot, and unless everything clicks, then maybe they're better than that. But the flip side, like now, like I was saying, like they have horses now. There's no more excuses for young Jeremy. Like young Jeremy. Your system, all this stuff, like you can't be like, well, Boquist is 20 and Ian Mitchell is a rookie and we got a bunch of rookies and Doc is 18 and all this shit. No more of that. They got guys that are veteran guys who have been winners everywhere else. If you can't win with this group, he better have a very, very short leash. Like if they're not securely in a playoff spot by Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, he's got to be canned.
I love how he had to differentiate between
and that is like there is like a stat like since the lockout in 2005, so when they changed all like the rules and everything like that and the salary cap, that if you're not in if you're in a playoff position come Thanksgiving you make the playoffs 80% of the time. So if you're not in that, it's very hard to climb and scratch your way in because you're just chasing the whole time. So that's got to be the cutoff point. And if it's not going, they better have plan B like ready to go, like on speed dial. So that's something to watch. Camp will be interesting. Be interesting what kind of leash Jeremy has with Stan. I personally think it's like infinite because I think Stan likes having a guy that can be like, hey, put this guy in. And he never had that with Joel, and he has that certainly with Jeremy. So we'll see how it goes. But it's I'm getting the hockey juices going again. It feels good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. That's positivity.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. Go out to Aurora. Make sure you make that bet. Hollywood Aurora.
That bet is insane.
Yeah. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. If you've never signed up for the Barstool Sportsbook app, now's your time. Code Dave, $100 maximum plus $19.85 if the Bears cover. It's a no-brainer if you've never signed up.
That's ROI.
All right. Dave, hit it.
DJ, play that shit.
All gas.
No breaks.
DJ, play that shit.
There we go.